I'm Robert McBride, and this is Everyday People, a program in which we investigate the lives of people making a difference in our community. Hi, good afternoon. This is Robert McBride from the Rockingham Arts and Museum Project with another episode of Everyday People, talking with people in our community and organizations that make a difference. Today we are talking with the Grafton Women's Club in celebrating a 100-year anniversary, as it is. And we're lucky to have three wonderful people with us that are very involved in the organization. Right here I have Judy Rowler, who's the historian. And then we have Liisa Kissel, who is the Centennial Gala chairperson for the event that's happening this Saturday. Sold out event already, but there's ways for the public to still participate in raffles, etc. And then we have Maureen Rowler. Is it Maureen? Maureen Fletcher. Sorry. Who is the president of the society. Is that good enough?
Club.
So what I like to do is, what is it? What do you guys do? It's been in existence 100 years. It's obviously been an important part of Grafton society. So just tell us a little bit about the organization, and then we can know more about some of the facts that are happening and what's going on.
Okay. Currently, I'm the president of the Women's Community Club of Grafton. Been in existence for 100 years, so this is a very exciting year to be celebrating this milestone for us. The purpose of the club was to encourage higher education. And so in 1966, this official scholarship was started that the club sends out scholarships to local students from Grafton to help them with their expenses for college. And it's really means a lot to me now, as my sister was the first one
Whoa.
in 1966
Fantastic.
to get a scholarship, followed by another sister, a brother, and even my two children had scholarships from this club. So over the years, it's raised a lot of money, and it's given out a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So this year on Saturday, the 18th, is a gala to help raise a lot more funds for this.
Okay. So maybe we'll just move right into Liisa then and talk a little bit about the gala coming up.
So last year we realized that we have our centennial coming up, and I was asked to chair the committee to put it together, which has been a great honor and a lot of fun. So this Saturday, the 18th, we will be celebrating our centennial with actually 100 guests coming. We are sold out. However, we seem to have a few tickets being returned as people's plans change. So if you're still interested in attending, please contact us at wccgala@gmail.com or through our Facebook page. We'll have a party at a wonderful modern barn in Grafton, and we'll have a major auction, arts and crafts auction, to raise funds for the scholarship fund. And we picked arts and crafts because we have a very strong arts and crafts tradition in Grafton, and the Historical Society is actually showing local artist works this year. So for our auction, we've been very fortunate to have received wonderful donations from local artists, and I just brought a couple of examples. So this painting called Small Mists and Fireflies by Eric Aho, who is perhaps one of the most premier currently living artists in Vermont, who only shows in New York. We have also a painting by Charlie Hunter, known and respected locally and beyond, and Judd Hartman, who is a part-time Grafton resident sculptor. Our Francis Alford from Grafton, who is an internationally known fiber artist, has donated a magnificent quilt in her own signature style, multi-dimensional, colorful, and 24 other items. We'll have a silent auction and a live auction.
Great. So those people can go to the Facebook page, see what's up for the auction, and so can people participate in the auction even though they might not be at the event?
They absolutely can. They can go on our Facebook page and they can send in a left bid, and the information how to do that is on the Facebook page.
Great.
And locally, very well-known chairmaker Conrad Delia has donated a rocking chair to us, which will be actually raffled off. And raffle tickets are $10, and you can go to MKT Grafton and buy a ticket. And again, you don't have to attend Saturday night
Fantastic.
to have a
Right.
chance to win the chair.
Right. In the past, what kind of events have you done? What is your general fundraising scheme?
The club over the years has been very creative. One year we did a vintage fashion show, which was a lot of fun, all of us as models. And
We did Circus Terrificus a number of years ago, and we did it at the movie theater in Bellows Falls.
Oh, okay.
And,
With Troy Wonderly.
and that was a great
Yep.
success.
Oh, yeah.
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 one year we had a dance, we've had a garden tour, different things.
Right.
But this is a big event, and I also want to emphasize that we have gotten a lot of help from our sponsors who are helping put this event together and provide significant extra funds for the scholarship fund. So the Wyndham Foundation, which is based in Grafton, very wonderfully gave us a leadership gift of $10,000 to begin, and on that basis we have been able to raise an additional $15,000, so $25,000 altogether.
Great.
And that goes a long way towards increasing our scholarship fund.
Absolutely. So, Maureen, in the past, I mean, over the years, how many scholarships do you tend to give out a certain amount every year, or it depends on
It depends
how
on
your
the
coffers are?
applicants.
Here you go.
This year we gave out 7.
Okay.
So it depends on each year and how many apply, but they try to give some money to everybody. And then in June, we have a scholarship luncheon
Okay.
where all the applicants are invited to luncheon and come and meet. Everybody mingles together and join in.
Right. So, since 1966, is that when you said you started this?
Yes.
So, how many students have you served, do you think? Do you have a total on that since 1960?
127.
127, I thought,
127.
yes.
And you probably have little stories about all of them.
We do.
You know, what happened to them? How did they go? Did they come back? Did they move away?
We have actually been working to obtain pictures
Fantastic.
of a lot of these scholarship winners, and at the gala we'll have some of the pictures going through on a screen for people to remember these children, most of whom have moved out of town, but not all of them.
I'm sure some of them will be at the gala, won't they?
Yes.
With special
Yes.
name tags on and
Several young people in town now with their own businesses
Yeah.
that took advantage of applying for the scholarships.
right. So, you know, basically throughout the year, then you give these scholarships out, and then you have a sort of a fundraising thing. And basically, what happens throughout the year with the organization in general? Do you meet regularly or quarterly, or is there a membership to this organization, or just a board of directors, or what?
There is a membership. We have approximately 130 members, and we do meet throughout the summer. We have a committee that sits down in early spring and plans meetings, and we have hostesses and a program at each meeting. So it goes May through September. So our next and final meeting for the season will be a silver tea held at one of the members' homes. And then throughout the winter, we work on, those behind-the-scene projects.
Right. And then we have the historian.
Yes,
You, the historian, Judy.
Yes.
What? Tell us about the archives.
Well, I became a historian. Jean Cadell, who was a member for many years, lived across the street from me, and when she retired, she walked across the street and told me I had become the historian. And I must say I am thrilled. It's been a wonderful experience, and when we knew that we were going to have this celebration for the 100th anniversary, I kind of moved into high gear and started to look for information and so forth. And we couldn't find too many pictures, and I called all kinds of people anyway. So I one day said to Maureen, now and she is at the Historical Society, I said, there has got to be something up there. And so she called me and said, well, I have a box here, she said. So, she didn't tell me what was in it, because I don't think you knew, did you? Maybe.
I thumbed through it somewhat and saw
You
that it was
did.
old history.
Anyway, so I picked it up and brought it home, and I was thrilled because in this box was this book, which is the original, are the original minutes from 1918 to 1928, and the writing, and it really begins and tells the story of how the Women's Community Club started. And it started in 1918 during the Second World War, and the Ladies Knitting Club of Grafton met. And they decided they wanted to do something for the soldiers in the First World War. So they knit clothes, made clothes, send clothes to knitted articles to the front and so forth, and also to hospitals. They also, which I thought was interesting, the first Christmas of 1918, they sent $1 to each young man from Grafton that was in the armed forces. And from there, they then, the following year, they then called themselves the Grafton Community, and they still continued to help. They sent money to the Red Cross, to the surgical, to hospitals in New York. But once the First World War was over, then they sort of shifted their what their main purpose would be, and that was working in Grafton and supporting various, raising money and for community organizations. And I truly believe there is not one organization that is in Grafton now that has not been touched and helped and supported by the Women's Community Club of Grafton, and I think that's quite extraordinary.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
We also had a family, the Daniels family, who lived in Grafton, and they were very supportive. And Susan Daniels died in 1934, and in her will, she left a substantial amount of money to be used for the community in Grafton, the beautification, taking care of it, and supporting different organizations. But as I'm repeating this because I think it is quite, to me, stunning that every organization has been touched and helped and recognized by the Women's Community Club. And that is
Well, I
going on
think
through
that's
the
also
years.
something that's wonderful about living in Vermont in general.
Yes,
That
it
the
is.
scale of Vermont allows people to be
Right.
involved in their communities.
Absolutely.
And they are, and I think that's a quality of life issue, and a lot of people that live here and a lot of people are attracted because you can be very involved and participate.
Well, somebody said to me the other day, knowing that I was historian, it's quite, well, actually it was today at lunchtime, and said, several people have spoken to me and think, how has the Women's Community Club of Grafton has continued for 100 years? And I said just what you said, because particularly the Grafton community is that way. But you have people that were born and grew up in Grafton. You have people that made the decision to move to Grafton whenever with their families. And then you have people that live there part-time, not live somewhere else, but they also have a home in Grafton. And these three groups worked together, and their main purpose was supporting the Women's Community Club. And the other thing is that they had the ability to change as through several wars, through recession, through natural disasters, and they all continued to work together. And their focus changed a little bit through the years till we come to 1966. And now it is really predominantly for scholarships. Though if something happened and we needed to raise money or something, I'm sure they would step forward and do it.
So you're able to respond to the needs in the community that you could identify.
Right.
And I think probably in 1966, more and more, there was sort of a momentum finally of more and more women that were attending college as a regular thing to do, or hopefully a regular thing to be able to do in higher education.
Right.
And that's amazing. So in this little notebook that was from the
1818.
Oh yeah, but these are consistent notes. What would you say from some ton date to 1927?
28.
1918 to 28.
Right.
So was it maybe we have this because there was one consistent secretary that entire time that kept it, or do you think the book passed hands around the community?
Well, they seem to, people...
Oh, I guess the handwriting changes, huh?
Yeah, they have changes. We had, boards like we have now. But again, particularly in the beginning, I've gotten I feel as though I know some of these women because they have been involved for so long, and reading what they said. And it's a beautiful thing to read because, first place, the writing is beautiful.
Yeah.
Second of all, they didn't miss
great.
a trick.
Yeah.
They talked about everything that they did and how they felt, and if there was some, not disagreement, but they didn't all agree on how they worked it out.
Right.
And it's quite, I think, an extraordinary book and addition to the history of our club.
Yeah. So at the gala, are there going to be some selected readings from the minutes? You can have a little focus of time at the gala. I mean, I know the gala goes from what time to what time?
It's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
So it's kind of a drift in and out kind of thing if you wanted.
Well, we have a short formal program, the highlight of which, of course, will be a historical presentation
Right.
by Judy.
4 minutes.
And keep it to 4, Judy.
She gave me 5, but then she knocked it down to 4.
Say no more.
But we will also have images. We'll have some photographs, and we have a video loop running with
Fantastic.
photos of many of the former scholarship
Great.
recipients, as well as members of the club and various activities. So we'll be surrounded by all this historic paraphernalia, reminding us of the community efforts over the
Right.
100 years.
Right.
They have pictures of former students. They have
Yes.
pictures of some of the former older members of the
Right.
community club.
Right.
They have all kinds of things,
Yep.
which will go.
Right.
And then this banner that's at the front will
Yeah.
be hung up on the
And
walls.
you'll all be in fabulous.
Oh, we're going to look
You're
fantastic.
gonna look great.
Yes.
So tell. I'm going to forget my question, and it's very easy to do. I did forget my question. It was about.
You were talking about historical elements at the gala.
Right.
And-
But it went on to something else.
And what else is happening at the gala, maybe?
No, I think it's going to be great. You're going to come in and do this stuff. But, who is the current secretary of the community club?
Mary Ann Donald.
Marianne. So I'm wondering, is Marianne Donald going to be throwing her thumb drive of the minutes into the box that someone can discover
and-
another 100 years from now? Since
Yeah,
we
and
won't
I-
have lovely written
And I will
penmanship.
say that she takes excellent minutes.
Does she handwrite them? Or she
No.
moved on to the digital age?
She's moved on to the digital
She's
age.
moved on to the digital age.
Well, we have actually thought about a time capsule, and maybe we will have a form of a time capsule.
would be fantastic.
We will have a guest book which everyone there will sign,
At the gala.
as well as our sponsors and the businesses who have supported us by buying an ad in our
Right.
program booklet. And then I wanted to mention, Robert, one more wonderful feature about the event. The conclusion of the evening, after we have raised a lot of money with the auction and the raffle, we will have a half-hour concert by a string quartet from the Grammy-nominated Chamber Orchestra of Far Cry from Boston.
Oh,
A
wow.
member of our community has donated the concert to us very generously.
Gosh.
So we'll celebrate the conclusion of our event by half an hour of wonderful music.
Right. Man, I'm sorry. I wish there were more tickets out there to buy.
Well, as I said, there might be more. Just yesterday, I heard from somebody who could not
Got
come
it.
and return. So do let us know if you are interested in attending. And again, there's ways to participate through the Facebook and auction and the raffle.
So imagine most communities. I know the Bellows Falls has the Bellows Falls Women's Club, and the different communities do. Do the heads of your organizations ever kind of get together for coffee just to talk about events and what's going on in your communities, or maybe share
With other
information?
towns, you mean?
Yeah, because I'm sure it's a very, kind of connect the dots between
I'm
them.
not
I
sure
think there
that they
might be
have.
a good story for Southern Vermont Arts Magazine about how these organizations play,
And
a
work
major role in
together?
their communities. But once you sort of talk to each other or reach out, it could kind of be really interesting.
That's a great
It's a great
idea.
idea.
We should look into that.
Yeah.
One of our over the winter projects.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. That'd be great. So I think the gala just sounds amazing. And this, when was the last time there was a gala? Or are you really just putting it together? Never.
Never like this.
We've
Never
had
like-
fundraisers and
Right.
events before.
So you usually
but
do some kind of annual fundraiser event or...
Most years, not even every year. Actually, in the last 5 years, since the circus, which Judy mentioned, we have not had a major event. So now we're putting all of our efforts into the centennial.
That's really, really
But
terrific.
this is to celebrate and recognize the success of it, and then we have to stay the course and keep on the way we've been doing. And hopefully when everyone gets through the celebration, they'll be raring to go and go for another 100 years, but you and I won't be around.
No, I won't be around. I might be around for next year's event. Better have another one very soon. Yeah.
We
Looks like you're
created-
ready to say something, Maureen.
We created a centennial logo for
Okay.
our membership booklets. So these are available.
Uh-huh.
If you're a member, you get a little booklet of everybody in the club and all our meetings
Okay.
and our purpose and all of that. So,
Fantastic.
and we will have a brochure at the gala, which will go down in history and be preserved.
Listing all the scholarship recipients
Fantastic.
from 1966 to current day. Listing our wonderful sponsors and our auction donors.
No, terrific. No, that's really, really terrific. You're doing
Back
great.
in 1966, I believe the scholarship was $100. And this year, the highest scholarship was up to 5,000
5,000.
for
And
That's
we-
really
And we've given out, almost 250,000?
Yeah.
over
so-
the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
total scholarships given out this year was 20,000,
Wow.
and per individual student, the highest amount was
Yeah.
5,000.
Right.
So that's quite a change from the $100 that your sister got in
sure
1966.
is.
That's great. That's great. Well, what would that money in 1966 now be worth? Too. You got to do a little inflationary
Purchasing
adjustment
powers.
here,
Not one book, probably.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. Anyway, I've gotten the high sign. We're going to wrap the program up. Colin's given me the flag over there. Is there one last website or telephone number you want to give out, just about the organization in general, that they can find out anything more, like you mentioned about this, but if they want to be in touch with you, period, is there a central number people use to contact or the president?
Telephone number would be 802-843-2584.
Okay.
And that would come directly to me at the museum, actually.
Okay. Fantastic.
And then anytime you can go on our Facebook page.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for being on, and I would love to get an update. I don't know if we do a whole program on the debriefing of the event, but there might be some time when I can get a couple different organizations to debrief their events after we've
I
talked
think
about
that's a
them in
wonderful
advance.
idea.
So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Right. So this
you.
is, again, the Rockingham Arts Museum project. wants to thank Fact TV for making this such a great resource to tell stories about the community. And they're very open to that happening, so feel free to contact them down here. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, the Vermont Arts Council, the National Endowment for the Arts, Chroma Technology, and First Light, formerly Sovereignnet, to helping underwrite programs at RAMP, and all the individuals that support us also. And so until next time, see you on the square.